Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Pride Circle's Rise FB Live. Hey everyone, how are you doing? I'm Ram and welcome to Facebook Live of Rise, Reimagining Inclusion for Social Equities, India's first LGBTI job fair. We are super pumped to bring it to you, and this is an opportunity to ask all the questions because there's a lot of questions around it. So feel free to type in your questions here. Yep. And I'm just going to go quick walkthrough about what the event looks like and what's coming up. And it'll give you a sense of what the event looks like. So it's on 12th of July. It's at the Lalit Ashok, Bangalore. And if you have any queries or anything else you want to reach out to, it's rise, R-I-S-E, rise at thepridecircle.com. Uh, this is possible because of our amazing inspirer, which is the Lalit, and a whole lot of supporting organizations, Beyond Diversity, Community Business, Interweave, Keshav Suri Foundation, Open for Business, Peri Peri, Sangama, Solidarity Foundation, Stonewall, and our event partners Acme. So this is a bold initiative by Pride Circle, and we have been doing a whole lot of meetups in for the last 2 years in 9 different cities in India. So why Rise, right? So the question is why now and why Rise? So after the reading down of Section 377, which happened in 2018, companies are now revisiting the policies for greater inclusivity. They're now realizing that there is a talent pool which is invisible and needs attention. So that's one piece. We also realize that there's a business case for LGBT inclusion, that India loses up to $32 billion according to a 2016 World Bank report. And we also found that in Kerala, 89% of trans people are mistreated at the workplace, and 96 do not raise their voice against violence. Shockingly, 100% of respondents had at least one experience of being denied a job due to their gender identity. This is done by YP Foundation. We also realized the LGBT community is now more vocal and open, seeking inclusion in society and the workplace. Just to narrate an incident, like 2 days ago, I came across a person who is just 16. The person is transgender and they're out and open about it. And so workplaces have to be ready to work with the community who is out there, who is open about it, and the workplace needs to realign their policies, understand the sensitivity, so that they can include and attract the best talent. I'm also part of Mingle, and we did the research in 2016, and this is like probably quoted that 40% of the people we talked to found that reported harassment in the workplace for being LGBT. Two-thirds of them heard homophobic comments and jokes, and one-fifth of them faced discrimination from their own manager or HR. Since the workplace has not necessarily been the best place till now, it is a lot of work from the companies to make it more inclusive, which is now much more possible in a post 377 world, and hence Rise. What does Rise entail? So it's a place where thought meets plan. It's a conference, it's an opportunity to meet thought leaders, change makers, and movers and shakers from around the globe. This is a place where intent meets action. What I mean to say is that the job fair is an opportunity to engage with the LGBTI talent pool and to affirmatively hire. And it's where business meets responsibility. It's a marketplace which is a consortium of LGBT-owned businesses. It's time to redefine supplier diversity and sustainability. What it means to say that we'll get around 20 businesses which are owned by LGBTI community members. In a sense, a business which is 50% or more stake of someone who is out and from the community are invited to be a part of this. You get a chance to interact with 250 to 300 of people from businesses, which could be DNI heads, HR folks, business leaders, ERG members, and also access to 300 to 400 of community members to showcase your product or services. RISE is where accountability makes impact, and RISE stands for Reimagining Inclusion for Social Equity. We are also doing painting the town rainbow in a sense. We're getting India's first rainbow crossing. Location will be told soon. We're also doing a whole bunch of webinars before the event so that everyone, the candidate, the organizations, is aware, sensitive, and prepared to meet each other at RISE on 12th of July. What does the conference entail? The report launches, there's movie, there's hackathon, there's workshop, panel discussion, gamification, whole bunch of stuff. It's exciting. This is what the agenda would look like. I'm going to quickly skim through it because I'm going to spend too much time on that right now. And we're also having a movie screening of the movie Sasak. This movie has won 59 international awards. It's a powerhouse of raw emotions, and it is just simply an experience to have. We will have breakout sessions which go deep dive into specific topics and help understand the nuances of that. Like there's a breakout which talks about transitioning, a closer look. The idea is that how do we connect with our trans colleagues and friends and understand what they go through? How do we get the vocabulary right so we can talk to them and support them while on their journey of transition? Very basic things like, should the transition leave be a 1 month thing? Should it be a one ad hoc one set, like a set consecutive days you take off, or you break it down? We're also having one on getting started with the Pride journey. A lot of organizations are just realizing this talent pool and just realizing that they need to make small, reasonable changes in their workplaces to be more inclusive to the community. So what can they do about it? So this is where you get to meet so many more companies who already done that. There's also a breakout on hiring from the community and how do you engage in skill set. So what are the other avenues of engagement besides a full-time employment or along a full-time employment, like internship, like an opportunity to do fellowship, right? And just introducing some of our amazing speakers. So I had shared earlier that, once again, I had shared a minute ago that India loses about 1.7% of its GDP, and that research was done by MV Bajetley, the person on the right side here. She is a powerhouse lesbian. She has written 4 books about LGBTI and in the economy, how they intersect. And she's going to be the keynote speaker here. So your opportunity to come and interact with her. She's also be there for a leadership breakfast in the morning, an opportunity for people to come and talk to her, talk about strategy, talk about various other aspects of business and inclusion. We also have Celise Berry joining us, who is the founder of Out and Equal. It's one of the largest not-for-profits in the world, which has worked on LGBTI inclusion. When Celise started her journey, there were just 4% of Fortune 500 companies who were looking at LGBTI inclusion. And now that number has moved to 96%. So these are change makers. These are people who have brought change in the world through consistent effort, and they're here to talk about their journey and share the best practices of their journey. And we have a whole lot of a whole lot of more speakers from India who are going to share our stories from more closure home of things and changes they have done locally, which may find more relevant. The LGBTI job fair, that's what you're here to talk about, and more from a candidate perspective, what it is there for them and how to go about it. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at 50 companies. Yes, 50 companies standing next to each other, and candidates from the LGBTI community had the opportunity to go around, talk to them, share the CV. If they find they have a match, they can also go to an interview zone and have a conversation there and take it forward to the next step of hiring. Isn't this exciting? Imagine 50 companies in a room welcoming people from the community which has been discriminated for so long. There have been instances there, even though someone has an interview call letter and the security guard did not let them in. We want to change that narrative. The narrative has been that you will not be hired just because you are LGBT, just because you're different. The narrative now is that you will be hired because you're different and because you're amazing, and we celebrate the difference. The LGBTI talent pool, my friends from the LGBTI community. The resume database, this is where you upload your resume. I'll be sharing the link in a bit. I talked about the marketplace just a while ago. It's about an opportunity for 20 businesses which are owned by the LGBT community to get the spotlight. We also have Wall of Pride, which we'll be talking about the amazing community and how beautifully diverse, talented, and brilliant we are. So these are the various social media handles you can reach out, follow us, so you can update it about the various happenings around this event. I'm going to pause the sharing for a bit and come back to sharing the resume uploading link. Hello. So I hope you can all see the link to upload your resume is resume.thepridecircle.com. Yep, it's resume.thepridecircle.com. So that's where you upload your resume. So once you click this page, you will get this, and this is your go-to button. Start with Google. So you're going to click this. I'm going to just pause it for a second because I don't want to share my email ID here. So you will have to have a Google account to upload this resume. Hey, so once you hit the website, it's resume.thepridecircle.com. This is what the page will look like. It's called out the Pride Circle logo. It's called out Rise. So this is where you have to upload your resume. And this is the next button you click to, which is Start Google. So once you click this button, you'll get a pop-up. If don't already logged into the Google in the same tab, and that's where you can fill in your details. So once you fill in your details, this is what will be there: a personal information tab, an education, employment, and the resume upload. So this is where you fill your legal name, your preferred name. So let's say my legal name is Ram Krishna Sinha, and let my preferred name just be Ram. So this is about uh, if you if your preferred name is different from your legal name, this is the opportunity to fill that. What pronouns you use? What's your date of birth? I'm just gonna fill random data here because yep, I can. Yeah, but please, when you're filling it, please fill something which is relevant, something which is true. The more data you fill, the better it is for us to match you to the best kind of rec. Your email is mandatory. Let's say my email, I'm going to put ram@gmail.com. And my current location is Bangalore. Yep. Put your phone number correctly. So when it comes to biological sex, and these are optional fields, why do we ask for biological sex? Because we want to be inclusive of the big family of LGBTVR. And this is the only space where you could have captured the data of intersex friends. So that's how where you can plug what your biological sex is. If you're not comfortable filling it, don't fill it. What's your gender identity? Again, it's an optional field, whether you're cisgender or transgender. Cisgender is when your biological gender, sex, and your gender identity are aligned. It's called cisgender. One second, I'm told that there's a hearing issue. Let me just recheck my audio. Pause this for a second. My audio checks. Hi, can you hear me all right? Yeah. Why can't you hear me? I have to speak a little more loudly. Yep, I'm back. So cisgender is where biological sex matches with the gender identity. Transgender is when they are right opposite, or it's just that it just doesn't match with the biological sex in a sense. So there's also option for gender fluid, non-binary, prefer not to say. Again, request you to fill as many fields as you are comfortable filling it. It just helps it get us better, because some organizations are more comfortable hiring trans people, some organizations are more comfortable hiring. Yeah, so some organizations are more comfortable hiring trans people, some organizations are more comfortable hiring cis people. So the data you fill helps us understand how to match you best with the organization. LGBT, asexual, all of that. This is will help us understand what is our outreach within the community. Are we able to reach out to the lesbian community, to the bisexual community, to trans men, to trans women, to the various aspects of our community we are. So all of this data, while optional, it'll be really helpful if you fill it. It's just going to help us do better matching and course correct ourselves to ensure that we have a fair reach from the entire spectrum of the community, right? Are you comfortable being out at work? Again, important that you fill this up so that, again, we'll match you with organizations who have needs. Some organizations want people to be out at work. Some people are comfortable joining and maybe come out at a later stage. So different organizations, it just helps us layer it up with various kinds of flexibility if we have this kind of data available. This way you can put your LinkedIn profile and your Twitter URL. And then we go to the next tab on education. So please select your highest qualification, whatever that it is. If you are someone who has done school till under 10th standard, you fill school. If your highest qualification is 10th standard, fill 10th. If you did your 12th, fill 12th. Likewise, so whatever your highest qualification is, please fill that. If there's an option which this does not fit in the schooling you had and the education you have, you can always fill other. If you're undergrad, like a BE or BTech or a BCA, BCom is highest, then fill bachelor's, because then again, there's an option of filling the course type, right? So I did a bachelor's, I'm going to fill in BE, BTech, because that's what I have done. So you fill in what course you have done, put in your college name, select year of graduating, let's say I'm going to call, fill year of passing. Yep. Languages, let's say I'm going to put English here, and select course type, whether this is a regular course or it's a correspondence course or just another format of learning. Specialization, if you have any specific specializations which does not fit in this piece of data capture, please fill in there so that all this data is again just helping us to map you better. Any certifications if you have, let's say you did a certification on website development or Six Sigma certification or a project management certification, uh, anything which helps us map you better to the requirement job, these pieces will help us. Also, these are also opportunities which may not get captured in this space. We move to the next tab of employment. It's also which industry you're from. So let's say I'm from uh, advertising. Yep. I'm just filling it up. Yeah. My functional area could have been I am an analytics guy in an advertising company. So fill that up. You can be current my employer, be fill in an employer name if you're comfortable, and total experience in number of years. Yep. So this is again a very important field. Round it off to the nearest year. So let's have 7 years experience. I'll fill it there. Uh, Employment type, was it a full-time or a part-time or freelance gig which I've been doing? Let's say I'm doing a part-time employment. What's your current expected CTC in year? CTC is the current like total compensation package of yours, and we round it up to the lakhs per annum per year is like total uh, salary for the year. It's not a monthly salary, so don't put monthly number. Put off the year annual number. Let's say I'm putting 20 here. What's the expected salary? You can fill in the data accordingly. So this is a very interesting field called jobs applied for. So this becomes very important because this is effectively in the sense you picking up which jobs you want to apply for, and these jobs will be posted on the Rise page, which will go live on 20th, right, 20th of May. So on the Rise page, you will see a whole lot of job postings with the job ID. So once you fill the job ID, and you can comma separate and fill in like multiple job IDs, this will just directly map you to the skill to the company and the job ID you are applying for. It just makes the process much more faster for us to send your resumes to the said company. And it's also your choice of picking up which company and what roles you're applying for. So this field becomes very important in the next few days. For people who have already filled the resume, which is a lot of you, thank you for that. You can always revisit and keep updating this because this is a dynamic thing. So it's not like once you filled, you cannot edit it. You can always edit all these fields in there. But yeah, try not to do it way later because our sourcing team will only sync up the data at some intervals. What's the designation? What skill set you have? So again, we understand that not every field is inclusive of the entire spectrum we're trying to cover because the spectrum we're trying to cover are people from homeschooling to people who have a PhD degree. There are all forms of education, all forms of experiences, all forms of skill set this community has. So this is the opportunity to fill in those skill set if it's something which you could not put in any of those fields. About me is again, if you're looking for something, any other field you think which is relevant, which will help us to understand you better, help us to map you better, please use these 150 words to fill in here, right? What's your preferred work location? If you're based in Bangalore and you want to work in Bangalore, let's say you're based in Kolkata, but your preferred location is Bangalore. I just love Bangalore, so I keep saying Bangalore. Yeah, so just fill this up. Again, helps us map to the recs which come. Because let's say there are a lot of jobs in Chennai today, and you are from Bangalore, but your preferred location is Bangalore and Chennai, that you work either location is fine with you, we'll map you to the Chennai locations also. This question has been confusing for a lot of people. Do you need any reasonable accommodation from the workplace? In the sense, if you are a person with disability, you are undergoing SRS or anything where you need a reasonable accommodation, this accommodation is not housing for anyone, is about assistance at the workplace in a sense. Select yes only if you need it, and please mention what that accommodation is. Yep, I hope I have covered all the fields. That's the last tab, the resume upload tab. And before you fill it, there is a read the terms and conditions which open up. It's very important that you go through all of this carefully. It is a little lengthy, but take a minute or two, spend your time, go over it, read it completely, understand the purpose of the database, understand your role in it. And then only if you agree to it, will you be able to submit your resume. So as I'm choosing a file to upload, this is my resume. I just uploaded my resume here and submit your upload file. Your file got uploaded and submit your resume. That's it. So once you get thank you for submitting or updating your profile, that's the confirmation that your resume has been submitted. You will not be receiving any email from our end to confirm the submission. This is your confirmation of submission of your resume. Once you've submitted, you can always come back and log in and edit details. Another important thing I wanted to share that we are not capturing your email or your password of Google at all. The Google API takes care of that. We do not get any of that data, and hence we ask people to fill their email here because that's the only way for us to get the email. These are mandatory fields, so you cannot submit your profile without that. Yeah. So again, a request, feel free to fill in as many fields as you are comfortable with. If there's a field which you're not comfortable filling, and you feel that this is a question which is sensitive and I do not want to fill that. We understand that, don't fill that. But it just helps us to do a better outreach. We want to reach out to all aspects of a community. And so please fill that if you're comfortable. And this data is not shared. So the other piece I wanted to cover briefly was about how is this data being shared with interesting companies. So companies, we are only inviting companies which are inclusive, have a proven track record, or have taken affirmative action to include people from the community. We only share a data dump with them at the first level, which does not have any of your personal identifiers. It's more about your education and your skill set and your employment. So it's basically like what's your highest qualification, select the course you have done, the years of experience you have, what skill set you have, what functional area you work in. Those are the fields which would be shared with an organization, not your name, not your email ID, not your resume also in the first level. Only if companies come back, hey, said these candidates you want to process further, that is when we share your resume with them, again, without any personal identifier. We take away the names, the email ID, and the phone number. So only when the company is really sure that they want to process further and to meet the candidate for an interview, that is when we connect the organization and the candidate at the job fair. So you basically get a booth number and a time slot. Uh, and that's when you get to interact with the company and take it to the next level. So you are not outed to the entire set of companies participating. You're only going to be interacting with that particular company. So your data privacy is taken care of. Uh, you are more than welcome to walk around and talk to various companies at the job fair. We understand that you might, so the job IDs we talked about, which one you want to apply for, maybe you missed applying for a couple of jobs which are very relevant and very interesting. So you can still walk around and talk to these organizations and take it up, even though you had not applied for it upfront or there was no scheduled interview with them. Yep. The other piece about candidates who are not in Bangalore and who cannot travel for the job fair, what does this mean? So this is a pan India event in the sense this is going to be, so this is the first job fair, the physical one we're doing in Bangalore, but it's going to take it up to different cities as well. That is one piece of it. The other part is that uh, we are happy to even match you with companies in your location wherever you are in India, and which does not include traveling to Bangalore. So it's not restricted to Bangalore. Wherever you are in India and you're looking for a job, looking for a change, if you're a fresher, if you have 30 years of experience, the entire spectrum, however education, like whether you're PhD, whether you're bachelor's, whether you're homeschooled, it's for everyone. We have ensured that we provide platform for everyone to be a part of this. So please do participate and fill in your resume, share the word with your friends so that they have access to this. They know that this amazing, beautiful thing is happening in India, India's first LGBTI job fair, which only becomes successful when you are a part of it, right? The other question which I get a lot is about what companies are participating and what are the profiles available for hiring. So for that, I would request you to follow us on our Facebook page, right where we are doing this live stream, which is ampersand let us all rise. So at the Rise page, we have been posting about our sponsors. We have been posting about the companies who are participating. We have been posting about the job recs also. So there are a couple of recs already there. So I would encourage you to go take a look at it. That way you get a sense of which companies are participating, what are the roles, and upload a resume. There are 50 plus companies participating. So it'll be covering a whole spectrum of organizations, be it IT, banking, finance, be it manufacturing, be it startup, be it a really established company, be it Indian, be it MNC, be it in whichever part of the country. So it's a huge spectrum of organizations we are covering. So I'm very sure you will have something or the other that works for you. There will be hospitality brands, there will be fashion brands, there would be a whole lot of BPO, ITS, support staff. So we have jobs for admin roles, job for security staff, job for kitchen staff. So we have the entire spectrum covered here. So I'm pretty sure whatever is your need right now, we will be able to match it. And so I would request you to upload your resumes and we will find a right match for you. Yep. I'm going to pause the share for a second and take more questions. Yep. The other piece I want to talk about, should at any point you have a question, you want to reach out to us, uh, I will just share this handles on social media again so that you know where to find us. And uh, 1 second, I'll just put this up. Yep. So these are our social media handles, be it LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, uh, or Twitter. And we're also available. You can email us at rise@thepridecircle.com or jobs@thepridecircle.com. If you're a candidate, jobs@thepridecircle.com is preferable because that's where our sourcing team is having a key eye on. One request. So we have a lot of emails about people sending their resumes. Request you not to do that. Please upload your resume in that resume at thepridecircle.com, because if you just email us, there's a possibility of getting lost in emails. If you upload that at the link, it's going to go in the central repository and will be available to our sourcing team for them to process for every kind of rec which we feel is a match. So please do not email your resumes. Please ensure that you uploaded it there. Also, while filling the form, ensure that you have filled most of the forms which you're comfortable filling. The more data just help us do a better match. Yep. I think that's all. I'm super excited, and I feel like this is a really historic event in a sense. We changing narrative. We're coming together. We're being the facilitator to get the rightful, the inclusive organizations and the community together to make a change in livelihood, to make a change in people's lives. So join us for that. And if you have any more questions, please feel free to write to us at jobs@thepridecircle.com or rise@thepridecircle.com and any of the social media channels. We are listening, we are available, and we look forward to having you on 12th of July at the Lanta Show, Bangalore. Thank you.